All right, let's answer a couple questions people had about the condo. I remember this one. Why did we buy this condo? We kind of got into a pickle where we sold our house in Florida, and then the house here in Virginia wasn't quite ready yet. And we started looking for Airbnbs, and they were like astronomical to stay there for a monthly rate, which, like, rightfully so. They're not in the long-term rental business, they're in the short-term rental business. So we looked in Naples. We thought maybe I would live in Naples for a couple months. We looked up here in Virginia.
Looked at Miami.
We looked in Miami. And then we just saw this one, and we had this. It's funny because we had actually looked at these condos almost this time last year before we ended up buying a full-on house, as just like, okay, let's have a vacation house. We love this area. We love Williamsburg. And it just kind of led us to our house. And so we've stayed here. Mike and I used to come up here for our anniversary. We played golf here a couple times. It just always felt like a fit for us. So that's how we ended up buying it. And then I feel like another question someone said was, what was it?
Well, also it was getting into Airbnbs or real estate or property management had been one of our long-term goals for the next stage of our life. So it was kind of, we were planning to do that at some point anyway. So now it was like, well, why not we just start now?
Right, because we needed a place to live. So yeah, it made sense. Oh, they said, why did we sell the Florida house and not use that as a rental? Which is a fair question. And I, for a long time, was team rent out the Florida house because I thought we'll never be able to afford that house in 20 years. The prices are just going to go up. It's already astronomical. That house just got really expensive really quick. It's my thought on it. And then we've also had houses in other states that we've been the landlord of. And it's just really a challenge when you're not there to inspect the property or walk through it, or I don't know, just be there for anything that might come up. So with this one, while it's a vacation house in a way, and it's not that far from our house, it's kind of, that's a downside to it. But I think there's so much that on the plus side because you can be there to actually manage it yourself and check on it.
Yeah, and I think the condo model helps too because we don't have to worry about the roof or any of the real building systems, whereas if we kept the Florida house, that whole house was our responsibility, which is hard to manage from 1,000 miles away.
Mm-hmm. Good question. All right. How do we find investment properties? They wanted to know. We stock Zillow.
I mean, I think the first step, you gotta know, where do you want to have one? So find your location.
Yeah. Well, I assume they have their location. Then to me, it's just stalking Zillow, getting pre-approved. I think we always try to look at something that has equity. So once we can do some work on it, that we'll already be making money on it because we're buying it cheap, low, needs work.
Maybe a little scary.
Yeah, which is hard because for an investment property, you know, you kind of would rather put the money into your own house. So I think it probably turns a lot of people off. But you're playing the long game with these. You're not playing a short flip. So buy low, sell high.